So hi and welcome to the webinar. I'm just going to share my screen so that you can see it. And hopefully you can see that now. And I've just had to move to another room, so I hope that the audio is okay. If not, I'll re-record when I do when I send out the replay. So again, thanks so much for joining me for the top 3 traffic getting strategies built beautifully for automation and scale. So, of course, this is about you stop having to hustle, and so that we can do things in a far more soulful way. So today I want you to feel relaxed, open to learning some new strategies, and give you a peek into what's working for me and my clients right now. Now, because I completely get that you've likely tried lots of different traffic strategies in the past and probably found yourself either failing at them or even burning out, I want you to know that it's not your fault. There's a lot of information out there and it can be confusing. So many times this information overload, it keeps you from success. It's okay though, if you've been concerned before that you can't get your ideal client to your website and turn them into clients, I want to put those fears to rest, because you can do this. You just need to be led, of course, in the right direction. So the internet marketing crowd, I do want to say, they want you to think that you can use the latest marketing fad or a fancy piece of software. And we've just been through Cyber Monday and all those big deals that have been going on the last week. So for me, that's not quite right. I followed the bright, shiny object path for a very long time, and I bought every new tool and digital program that was out there. But what I found was the platform can fall over, and think about things like Blab. Only 4% of people ever finish digital programs because they don't have that accountability built into them. And we can get tied up with paying a fortune for tools that we end up not using, which is why my approach is to look at timeless, evergreen strategies that will not only give you results now, but also long into the future too. So I'm all about building a sustainable business with a steady flow of sales using consistent online marketing. Now, I really care about getting as many female entrepreneurs with service and coaching-based businesses, automating their businesses so that they can scale it for greater revenue and reach more people with their messages, which is what we want. So this workshop today is really part of me delivering on that message. So it's about getting your message spread further without burning out. So let's dive in, shall we? So this workshop is for you today, and yes, it is a workshop. There will be some hands-on stuff for you to do. Is for you if you sell coaching, consulting, or professional services, but you really struggle to attract discovery calls. You sell online courses and digital products, but you don't have a big enough email list to sell to. Or you know that consistent traffic leads to consistent leads and consistent sales, but of course you fall down at that consistency part. And that's some of the girls that I've had in the mastermind this year. One of the reasons they came was really because of that consistency and the accountability. So today what you're going to learn is how I went from 1,000 hits and 0 opt-ins in 400 to 400, monthly opt-ins using an automated traffic strategy that can provide immediate results with very little effort. A social platform where you can create a piece of content once and it can live in the newsfeed for years. And of course, how you can create a resource that can be discovered without you having to even attract the traffic in the first place. This platform does it for you. So to help you retain some information today and to be able to be a bit more hands-on rather than just sitting and listening, I do have the Client Pathway Workbook for you today, which you can download. As you can see on the screen, you'll need to do this all, it's case sensitive, so it is bit.ly / capital T for traffic, capital W for WK, and capital B in BK, so Traffic Workbook is obviously what it is, but that's the acronym part at the end there. If you can jot that down, that would be great. Now, while you're doing that, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and why I'm so passionate about this. So I'm an author, I'm a speaker and a coach, and I spent 16 years as a journalist and really stepped into where I am now by accident. So while I was a journalist, I had a column that I wrote about being pregnant and all the disgusting things that happen to your body. It was very comedic. Well, I thought so anyway. So when I had my second daughter, I was asked about that column a lot. So I decided that while I had time on my hands, I'd start this thing called a mum blog. And I didn't really even know what a mum blog was. But from that blog, I was asked to help businesses with their PR. Now, after a while, after a few years of running that PR agency, I burnt out. I was trying to balance running the business with staff and marketing to consistently attract new clients, and I just found it overwhelming. And as I said, I burnt out. So I looked at how I could get smarter with my marketing. So I could leverage my time and obviously spend more time with my children, as you can see in the picture there, which is where I stumbled across the power of a client pathway, which is a soulful sales funnel that moves your most aligned clients from discovering who you are on Facebook, on your blog, through PR, through to nurturing and building the relationship via an email marketing system, and then of course inviting them to work with you. Now, after a period of testing, the keys that I identified to make this successful were storytelling, strategy, and systems. 3 things that I was already really passionate about, which is how I arrived, of course, at this point, empowering entrepreneurs to use storytelling, strategy, and systems to leverage your business and build soulful client pathways that work on autopilot so that can free you up to focus on what you do best. Now, maybe you can relate. Maybe you're spending hours on Facebook posting content, but it's not amounting to any new email subscribers or clients. Or you could be blogging, but no one is coming across and actually reading your blog posts. Now, for many, constantly driving traffic to their websites burns them out. It can be tiring and disheartening sometimes. And traditionally what happens is that people just throw darts at the marketing map and they hope that something sticks. But what you need to do is you need to create a holistic approach and set up a system that will work for you rather than you always having to work for it. So while there's too many results for me to be able to share here today, I do want to give you a slice of what people have been able to achieve with this, using it as a framework. So tripling enrollments in a flagship e-course, increasing their email list by 20%. One client consistently gets weekly sales of her product now. Another one did a $50,000 launch on her first time out, and it was a low-tiered product. I think it was $50 was her product, which is insane. Facebook ad generated an immediate income for another client. #1 Amazon bestseller in days. I'll share more on that one soon. And filling one-to-one coaching schedule. So, do you want this too? It starts with systems and a holistic approach, as you can see. So let's start. Okay, so before we get into the 3 key areas that I really want to share with you today, let's take a look at where traffic fits into your holistic strategy. So what does a client pathway even look like? I've been talking about this client pathway or soulful sales funnel. This is what it looks like. It starts with the traffic. Where are your most aligned clients hanging out and how can you attract them? We then give them a free gift. So we create an irresistible free gift. So we're not actually delivering it just yet, but we're creating something that we know they most want. We then create our lead page, which is designing a high converting lead page that captures their email address in exchange for that free gift. Now, our thank you page, we want to develop a smart thank you page. This page is often overlooked, and there's some big opportunities that you can be doing with your thank you page to continue the relationship. Now, email path. This is a sequence that delivers the free gift to them, but also continues to nurture a relationship with those people by providing value and also then asking for the sale, because if you can't ask for the sale, then you haven't got a business and you have nothing to measure. And if you can't measure it, then it's not worth doing in my book. And of course, step number 6, the final one, an important one, is leading people to your sales page. And that sales page needs to sell the benefits of your product, your program, or your service, or at least getting on a call and having a chat with you so that you can discuss it further with them. So today we're delving into that traffic step. Now, why is traffic important to your business, especially if you have an online business or you want to attract an audience that spends time online, which is most of our audiences these days. Now, if you have no traffic, it means no leads. And if you have no leads, it means no sales. And if you have no sales, it means no business. You are technically running a hobby. Now, each visitor to your website, if you want to put this into perspective for you, each website to your visitor is worth around $1 to $10. It depends on your business, of course. So the more visitors, the more your income grows. So most people's Google Analytics, when we look at it, looks a little bit like this. This is actually my personal blog that I haven't blogged on for quite a few years. It's flatlined. There's no growth there. And I encourage you to take a look at your analytics and see whether you're coasting along or whether you're making inroads to real growth with your blog and website. What does the pattern look like for you? Now, instead, we want this effect. We want a steady growth pattern. Big wins quickly, can be really great, but if your website can't handle that, say you get mentioned in Forbes magazine, for example, and your site crashes, then it creates headaches and a bad image, and sometimes that traffic can be rather fleeting. So you want to build sustainable traffic. Now, this is a 5-week period on my business blog, steady and sustainable growth. And obviously that's what I want to talk about with you today, but some of the others which aren't automated, I actually dive into in the Online Marketing Mastermind, which I'll share a little bit more about later, and some of the things that we've done in there as well. But some of you may have already seen this, but this is my, if I can click it through, my reality check calculator or my online marketing calculator. Now, if you don't have it, you can get it free, and I've given you a link there at the bottom of the page to get access to that. But what this calculator does is it allows you to see the return on either traffic to your website, your sales page, or your email list. So here's an example for you, and I'll put the example on the screen so you can see it. So let's say you have 200 visitors to your sales page a week. Now, the typical conversion for a website is 1 to 3%. Now, I've seen 5.5%. I've even seen 7.7% for one of my for my clients, because we continually improve their system. So some of my clients have much bigger conversion rates than the average, but generally it's 1 to 3%. Now, if we stick to the lower end and we play conservative, so let's say 1%, then you'll get 2 sales a week for your $97 product, which is $194 a week. So how many visitors are you currently getting per week to your sales page? Put that number into this calculator to predict your return. Then play around with what you could achieve if you increase that traffic flow. You can use it backwards as well, determine what you want your total sales to be, and then work backwards to what traffic you need to achieve. Now, the key is to know your numbers. Don't bury your head in the sand, which is often what I've identified with the female entrepreneurs that I've worked with. They don't know where to start with analytics, so they bury their head in the sand, as per the picture, and they hope for the best. So knowing this is incredibly empowering, as my current mastermind ladies will tell you. We only did analytics masterclass a few weeks ago, and it was a big eye-opener for the ladies. So knowing her numbers was what allowed Isha, as you can see on the screen, to aim for, I think she was aiming for 40 to 50 women at an inaugural networking event. Now, the funny thing is she far exceeded that with 80 people at that first event. Not only that, she was able to work her data to know what she had to do to provide a consistent number of women every month, month in, month out during 2017. So as you can see there, it took away a lot of the overwhelm for Isha, and we achieved our consistency goal monthly. So the top three traffic sources for automation, the thing that you're here to learn today, let's start with the first one. So there's many strategies, of course, to driving traffic. Now, some have long-term benefits and some have short and rather fleeting benefits. But today I want you to select just one of the strategies that I'm going to share and then implement immediately. So these strategies are primarily for long-term, but can also have some short-term benefits if they're done correctly. So before we even dive into those three strategies, I'm going to share, you need to ensure that you're clear on who is your ideal client. So you're not targeting all the wrong people with the wrong message, which of course can cost us dearly in time and money if you're investing in advertising. Now, I spoke with a client this week who's having an increase in clients suddenly since we started working together. Now, what she's identified is that they're doing similar to marketing activities to what they were doing before, but it's the language and it's the type of stories she's using on these platforms that has changed. Therefore, she's now sharing stories and using language that resonates with her most aligned clients. She's in awe of how much of an impact this has actually had on her business. So that comes down to understanding your audience or your ideal client. Now, the other part is that you can then identify where they're hanging out. If it's not on any of the three platforms that I'm about to share with you, then it's not a smart option. But I'm guessing at least one of them will fit for you. And if not, I'll be sharing some smart tools with you that can help you see where you need to be focusing your energy. So let's have a look. So if you've not done an ideal client profile, this is one of the things that I work with clients, and it's what I highly encourage you to do. It's the one step that completely changed my business. So how can we get quick traffic that can provide immediate results? Let's look at traffic strategy number one, which is blogging with SEO, or search engine optimization, which is what that stands for. So some of you may know my story about the blog post that gets automated traffic from Google every single day. It's a post I wrote back in May 2013. Now, it had a free download on it, but at the time I didn't understand the value of an opt-in. So I literally gave this away. No email exchange involved. So while I was, lamenting the size of my email list one day, which I think was, around 200 people. I don't think it had even cracked 200, to be honest. I noticed that I had over 1,000 downloads on this free download. And I actually hadn't captured one single email address, and it was a big lesson for me, one that I changed immediately, but one that I'm glad I can now share with others to ensure that they don't make the same mistake. So yes, I lost out on growing my measly list to 1,000 plus. And we all hear how, once you hit that 1,000 mark, things can start really changing for your business. But since then, it's been downloaded thousands and thousands of times, and it's helped create a really healthy email list today. In fact, I think that the traffic that comes to that blog post, that one blog post, generates around 400 email subscribers a month. So I created one blog post, and it now works for me. So this is not obviously the only blog post that does this for me, although it is by far the most successful piece. The beauty of this strategy is that all the smaller channels of traffic coming through actually add up to one big consistent flow of traffic. So for this blog post, it's not just one keyword that I'm relying on, it's a whole bunch of keywords. So never be disheartened if you end up with a blog post that gets 10 clicks each month, because if 10 people are consistently coming each month, it adds up to 520 a year. How many extra email subscribers and sales a year could that mean for your business? Now, if you're struggling to get blog posts written to achieve this first step, I want to introduce you to your old content, as you can see on the screen. Update old blog posts. Now, this is a little known trick that you can do with your blog that people just ignore, but it can hold some big opportunities for you. If you're wondering how you're going to have time for blogging, and you want to get a quick surge of traffic now, but also have something that will create longevity for your business, then look to these old blog posts. So discover which of your posts are ranking on page 2 or 3 that could use a refresh to meet the current market and allow it to rank higher in Google again. Now, I'm going to share some tips in a minute to help that piece of content rank higher. Now, if it seems the lazy man's way, it can be highly effective though, and it's a much smarter use of your time. So one of my clients is finally getting great opt-ins to her free gift thanks to updating an old blog post. How do you find out which pieces of content you should be focusing on? Well, I encourage you to take a look at your Google Analytics and determine which blog posts and which pages are attracting the traffic for you. So to do that, you can go into your Google Analytics, go to Behavior, Site Content, and then All Pages, and you'll play around with the date range at the top right of the page, and that will show you everything you need to know there. Now, another really great source is something called SEMrush, which I use a lot of, and this is a great tool to show you what blog posts are increasing and decreasing in ranking in Google and what keywords you're already ranking for. So this is a great way to find out what you can be creating content around and which blog posts you should be delving into to refine. So you can enter your domain name as well into BuzzSumo, which is another free tool that also brings up your top socially shared posts, which I'll share a bit more on in a minute. But once you've found the blog post, and you can easily see what those are, or even if you're starting from scratch with a blog post, here's how you can achieve similar to what I've achieved with mine and with clients' posts. The first thing is solve a problem for your ideal client. It sounds very basic, but that's what we want to be doing. It's important to really understand what it is your ideal client wants and needs. So if you have heard the saying, sell them what they want, give them what they need, you'll know there's a difference between the two. It's important to know what this is. Use keywords strategically throughout the blog post. So what do I mean by throughout your blog post? Well, you should concentrate on including your keyword, that is the term your ideal client is searching for in Google, in your headlines, your opening paragraphs, your images, so that what you name your image, etc. So make sure you put effort into coming up with keywords and a topic that are going to be of high interest to your audience, and of course that are searched, and potentially one that will get shared widely as well. So there's many tools that you can use, but start with Google Trends, Google Keyword Planner, and BuzzSumo. I have a few other SEO tools I now use with clients to come up with lucrative keywords for them before they get started writing. Next on our list, number 3, is write longer content. Now, the faces of my clients usually resemble a deer caught in headlights when I suggest this one. So after all, you're battling to get out one blog post a week as suggested by some big guru with a content marketing team behind them. How on earth are you now meant to write longer blog posts? And really, who reads all that stuff, right? Well, my first point would be that people do read. My time on page for some of my blog posts is up to 8 minutes, which is a positive trigger to Google that my content is worth ranking higher. Now, the other point is that instead of writing a blog post a week, or if you're writing more than that, combine those posts into one mega post and save yourself the time of having to upload new content to your blog every single week. Now, that time can be invested instead in creating more quality content and sharing it out. So right now, Google loves long content. It loves content that keeps people on your site longer, which signifies its quality and should be ranked higher in search, as I said. Come up with engaging headlines is number 4. Now, you know, the thing is, if you can't get people to click on your Facebook post, your tweet, or a link in your email newsletter, then the blog post fails before it even begins. So the way to overcome that is to have a great headline, which obviously also ties into having a great call to action. Next, number 5 is ensure it's shared widely. Now, what does this have to do with blog posts and building automated traffic? Well, when it comes to getting ranked in Google, there is something like 200 factors to take into consideration. Now, that's a lot to be across, and I'm not even across all of them. But if we focus on just a few of those, one being keywords as above, we can help increase our chances. Now, another one is how many social media shares your blog post has. Now, social shares can also then lead to possible backlinks, so other people linking to your content, which is yet another one of those 200 factors. So ensure you have a strong social media strategy around each piece of content that you produce. And I guess a good way of looking at blogging is that 20% of your time is spent creating the content and 80% of your time is spent promoting it. And again, during the mastermind, we've found some ways to even automate some of that promotion so your blog posts are continually being promoted without you having to physically do anything. Now, a great way to see how you're ranking in terms of social media shares against others is using that same keyword, using that same tool that I mentioned before, which was BuzzSumo, which is one of my favorite SEO tools. But type in your keyword and see where you rank. So ensure you have another one to add to the list, add social share buttons. Obviously, there's a follow-on to that. If you want it shared, you need to have those share buttons. And you can do this with social share icons on individual posts. Now, my favorite tool here, which I've linked in the workbook, is Social Warfare, which as I said, there's a link in there for you to be able to use that. It also allows you to add a pin it button to your images, and I'll share more in a minute on Pinterest as well. And lastly, it has the ability to add something called a click to tweet within your post. So what this is you can take a quotable quote from your blog post and you can put it into this tool and it will create a little tweet. So people can click on that image there that you see on the screen and Twitter will pop up with the status already created for them. So the tweet is already written for them. They just have to press publish pretty much, or send, whatever the words are. But as you can see, getting 400 email subscribers from your blog can be possible when you relook at your old blog posts and optimize them further. Now, the content, not just blogging, but an overall content strategy was a key part for Kylie when she launched her My Money Mojo program. Now, she wanted something that wasn't push-based and instead soulfully invited people in. And as you can see there, she wanted to avoid the icky old sales funnel and ultimately wanted a nice way for people to discover her, engage with her, and join her programs. And content marketing was a big part of that. So as you can see, it can have some short and long-term benefits. And for Kylie, there was some great short-term benefits to that content. Now, next we're looking at a social media platform where you can create a piece of content once and it can live in the newsfeed for years. There's number 2. So if you've been hung up on the fact that your tweets last a few minutes and your Facebook posts a few hours, then consider Pinterest, where you have the ability to create a piece of content once and have it repay you years into the future. And that, of course, is Pinterest. So did you know that Pinterest is actually a powerful SEO tool? So the keywords you use in your boards and pins on Pinterest are not only searchable in Pinterest, but also in Google. That's part 1 of the automation. Now, part 2 is that unlike Facebook and Twitter, where a status and a tweet can last only hours or even seconds, with Pinterest, once it's pinned to other people's boards, it can be rediscovered years down the track and repinned and repinned. So here's a bit of a scenario of how Pinterest works. So you see, if I pin an image from my blog to Pinterest onto one of my boards, it can be discovered by one of my followers. So one of those followers, let's say Judy pins it to her board. It then gets discovered on Judy's board by Sam, and Sam then decides to repin it to her board, and so the story goes on. So as you can see, it just keeps living in the newsfeed. It doesn't really matter how long the pin lasts in the Pinterest newsfeed because there are different variables as well, which mean it can be discovered long into the future. And those variables are SEO. So if you use the right SEO strategy around your Pinterest pins, it can be discovered in the Pinterest search tool for many, many years. And that same SEO is working in Google too, as I said. So you don't have to just be on lots of people's boards. Also, having the right keywords that people search for in Pinterest can help. The second one is personal boards. So if I discovered a great pin about blogging in my newsfeed, I often like to go and check out that person's blogging board on Pinterest to see if they have other similar pins they've added to the board. It's through this that I might discover a blog post that was pinned 3 years ago and end up on their site reading it. And then the last one is group boards. So along with your own boards and others' boards, there are group boards, and it only takes one person to pin your image to a group board to have a massive increase in traffic. So now, wouldn't you love to do something once and have it pay you back long into the future? Sounds pretty good, right? So how can you ensure that you, I guess, ensure success outside of just the keywords side of things? Now, the answer to that is images. You need to use high-quality images to drive traffic to Pinterest. Are they on brand? Are they images people would want to share? And by that, I mean, do you have a text overlay that would make them highly shareable? Now, that text only needs to be the headline of your post, which we've already talked about is high quality. So people want to share good quality content, but also visually pleasing content to their social media platforms. So take a little time here. Now, my 3 favorite tools for creating beautiful images are PicMonkey, Canva, and WordSwag. And I do have a new one that I've just discovered, which is Visme as well. It's visme.co, which I don't think I have in your book there. But this ensures that you have, and that one of the things, the pin-worthy images, Canva has a dedicated Pinterest template as well. But then you need to ensure that you have the pin it button installed on your blog, which we talked about a little bit earlier. And as I said, Social Warfare allows me to have the pin it button, which is built into it and very smart. So if you're unsure of what images to use, I encourage you to spend a bit of time looking at the most popular pins in Pinterest to see what it is about them that makes them popular. Now, how can you create an opt-in? This is our number 3, that can be discovered without you having to even attract the traffic in the first place. Now, the platform creates it for you instead. What is it? It's Amazon. So having an ebook on Amazon can bring you endless traffic and leads. So Amazon's become its own search engine. So while your ebook may not exactly drive traffic to your site, those most interested will take a look at the free first 15% of the book, which Amazon allows people to look at, which is where you have the opportunity to put a link to your landing page for your automated webinar or for your PDF download or whatever opt-in that you particularly have. Now, one of my clients, she added 25% more people to her membership through using a Kindle ebook, and people didn't even have to buy the book for that to happen. So Amazon has become its own search engine, and this is your way to get smart with keywords. Can you see a bit of a theme here with the keyword side of things? If you're wondering how it's achievable to get an ebook written with everything else you need to do, I encourage you to look at your blog strategy and see what from your blog content already written and from what you have planned to write can be pulled together into an ebook. So a book can be a powerful, powerful marketing tool. So that's how you can create an opt-in or a resource that can be discovered without you having to even attract the traffic in the first place. Amazon will create that for you. This is one of the strategies that Sally used, as I've said, and they had a cookbook for people who had been through weight loss surgery. So thanks in part to some systems that were implemented and a great social media opportunity, they were able to get their ebook to #1 on Amazon within a matter of days. And it's about identifying and then seizing the opportunities that come your way, which is what they did. And this now provides a steady stream of membership subscribers to their paid program. And I guess their overall results through using a holistic approach, by having systems already set up, they were able to get a 4 times bigger email list in just a couple of months. They had a #1 book on Amazon, and they had clients banging down their weight loss surgery membership virtual door for entry, resulting in an increase in automated monthly income. So as you can see, it's not just about one flash in the pan strategy. This is a bigger holistic plan for you and your business. So what's next? It's one thing, of course, to have an endless flow of traffic, but it needs to lead somewhere. And one of the best strategies is to have a free gift you can offer people in exchange for their email address. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire client pathway with you today, but ensure you have it, that you are leading people from discovering who you are, as we've just been through, to then inviting them to work with you. So along the way, you need to be nurturing and building on that relationship with them, because not everyone is going to invest with you at the end of that sequence. So this is the beginning of building the know, the like, and the trust. So when they are ready to invest, you're top of mind. So the beauty of the Soulful Client Pathway is, like the traffic strategies we've been through, you get to set it up once and you're systemizing your business so you can focus on what you do best. Now, I want to give you 4 examples here of women who have told powerful stories combined with using these automated traffic strategies and client pathways to create change in their businesses. Now, the first one is Angela from Your Next Chapter, and she tripled enrollments in her flagship group mentorship program, and she increased her email list by 20% through the power of storytelling and building a client pathway that featured an opt-in that was highly sought after by her ideal clients. Now, one thing she's always said to me is that when life feels chaotic, I bring the calm. And that's important when you're in the midst of launching something, because that calm often shifts our results because we don't dip into push-based selling, which is a lot of people are shifting into right now with the end of the year approaching and Christmas. I'm not sure if you're feeling it, but I'm seeing a lot of it. Now, the next person that I want to introduce you to is Maya from Healing Steps. Now, she was in this year's Mastermind, and she clearly identified what it is she offers, the problem it solves for her ideal client, and how to communicate that to the world. She gained consistent one-to-one clients through her business through consistent soulful marketing. She really worked out what she needs to say and when to say it, and just overcome some major tech challenges. Tech was not her forte, and she's been able to achieve so much on the tech front, which has been great. Here's another one, Kirsty. Now, Kirsty was she's from A Fresh Legacy. She was also in this year's Mastermind. She does garden setups for people, vegetable garden setups. We identified a happy goal, an ideal goal, and a unicorn goal for her list growth, and she exceeded. I'm just going to do some muting here. There we go, just so we haven't got any feedback. But we identified a happy goal, which was what she'd be happy with, an ideal goal, which was what she was most aiming for, and then a unicorn goal, which is a goal that you'd be super excited about if it happened, for her list growth. And she exceeded her ideal goal and is about to reach her unicorn goal. So she's promised she is going to ride a unicorn. She ran her first Facebook ad and generated immediate income, which is incredible. And she confessed to having an ad hoc approach to her marketing plan previously, which instead now has clarity and purpose. She understands what to do, when to do it, and how it's going to impact her business. And then the last one I had to quickly add in because it summed up the online marketing mastermind experience for the ladies so well. But again, Lisa was in this year's, and she increased her list significantly. And a big part of that was a list building Facebook ad that is getting her leads at 90 cents. And that's still going strong at the moment. A constant flow of mentoring client inquiries coming through now. And Lisa is another that really overcomes some big tech challenges that she had that has helped her a lot. And while she's a writer, she's really found the copywriting strategies helpful as well, even though she's really good on the writing front. If you don't know what the core copywriting strategies are, then that's another skill that you're able to gain. So let me ask you a question. If you've followed what I've shown you here today, building a strong 90-day plan that provides instant results as well as long-term results, and you developed a soulful client pathway that attracted, nurtured, and converted your most aligned clients, do you think that you could be successful? Do you feel like you're running your business without a holistic strategy right now? You're not clear on the stories that you need to share. Maybe you're struggling to find the right words in your copy, or maybe you don't know how to set up the systems. It's okay. If it's okay with you, I'd love to share how the Online Marketing Mastermind can help you implement this in your business. So it's not just about building your audience, growing your email list and increasing sales, although results are a big part of it, as you've seen from this year's participants. But it's also about connection with like-minded, female entrepreneurs. It's lonely out there if you're a solopreneur, and having other people's minds on your business is incredibly powerful. Accountability to keep you on purpose throughout the year. So often we can get distracted by the bright, shiny objects, which used to be an issue for me. And building a conscious business for money and meaning. As I said, it's not all about the money. It's about ensuring you're running a heart-centered business. So here's what you get inside of the Online Marketing Mastermind, which starts on February 15. You get 12 intimate mastermind experiences for support and accountability to improve yourself and your online business to get bigger results in your business. So being part of a mastermind is when my entire business changed, as I said, because I had the collective mind zeroing in on what I was doing. So often others see what you can't see because you're so close to it. So we'll take a holistic approach to your business, which has been the theme of today's workshop, zeroing in on the traffic strategies best suited to your business, which again, we've focused on some of those today, just a slice of them, and creating your 90-day marketing plan. So you can create consistency with your marketing, and we'll be keeping you accountable with that, and then setting up and reviewing your Soulful Client Pathway and paid offers. Now, by the end of the 9 months, we'll aim to have your business producing the kind of leads that you've always wanted. And this is for women who have been in service-based or coaching businesses for 3 to 5 years and are ready to step up to that next level. And as you can see, that's valued at $3,000. But you also get 2 strategy sessions, one-on-one strategy sessions with me to define your goals and deep dive on the metrics side of things. So we talked about that again today, how female entrepreneurs aren't particularly good at looking at the metrics, but you'll get one midway through to check in and realign if needed, and finally at the end of our 6 months to look at your metrics and set the goals for the next 6 months. And that's valued at $900, and you get those as part of it as well. You get exclusive business mastery classes on marketing topics to accelerate your business, like Facebook ads and strategic blogging. I've also invited an expert on branding who will help you put your best foot forward visually, and another expert on soulful selling who has some genius strategies to increase the number of yeses you get when you have discovery calls with potential clients. And her wholehearted conversation approach is worth knowing. It's exactly what I use in discovery calls with potential clients as well. You get invitations to get it done days to accomplish long overdue tasks for big change. So far this year in the Online Marketing Mastermind, we've done sales funnels, we've done storytelling, but there'll be far more in 2018. You get access, and as I said, that one is $997 value. You get access to the Client Pathway Library. This is like Netflix for marketing, or your study zone, with every product and tutorial I've ever created to keep you moving your marketing forward between calls. So you get instant access to this when you join the mastermind. So as soon as you sign up, you can access that before we start on February 15. So that's valued at $3,000. And you get access to private software tools. So you're not held back by having not having access to the technology you need. So one of the big ones that's been key for the ladies this year has been access to my premium SEO tools, which has been really, really helpful to them as well. So that's $1,000 worth of software that you don't have to buy because you can access it via me. And there's a bit of a bonus as well. So you'll get a one-on-one 90-minute ready, set, start session to help define your ideal client and set your strategy and goals. And this will happen in either December or January, whenever suits you to start, but it will happen before we start the Online Marketing Mastermind on February 15. So what we'll work on is lifting the fog, lifting the procrastination, providing clear strategies that will make a big impact for you and keep you accountable. So during that session, we're going to analyze your stats for growth opportunities now. What do you already have that we can be looking at and building upon, and also setting your 90-day plan so you can actually start now. So are you ready to move into Oh, I've got those slides back to front. Are you ready to move into an authentic, conscious and soulful business? This experience runs for 6 months due to the importance of me to have high touch on your business. You won't be a number in a program. Each group will only be 4 people maximum. The value of the mastermind, as you can see, is $10,397. Now, while many masterminds out there are reaching the $20,000 mark, the last mastermind I invested in was $12,000. Now today, even though that's how much it's worth, I'm not going to be charging $12,000. Not even going to charge $8,000, which is less than what the value of the program is. Today it's only, as you can see, $3,000 or 6 payments of $500. Now my goal is to make this achievable. If you're a few years into your business now and ready to up-level and leverage your business through storytelling, strategy, and systems. Now to take the first step and to join us, go to bit.ly/O, mastermind, all case sensitive, select the button and fill in the form that pops up on the screen and hit submit. Wait for the calendar to appear to book a time for us to chat, and that's it. We start from there. So if you want to create a holistic approach to your online marketing and social media to attract your most aligned client consistently, if you want to use storytelling effectively so you can sell soulfully, if you want to attract, nurture, and convert your most aligned clients using evergreen systems to give you back more time to do what most lights you up, then head on over to that link now. Now, just a reminder, that's only $3,000 for the entire 6 months or 6 payments of $500, and you can step into a better way to build your soulful brand where you feel supported, nurtured, and fully accountable. Don't try and spend another year on your own battling the tech challenges, the mindset issues, and the marketing failures. This packages knowledge, implementation, and a deep level of support as you build a soulful system that repeatedly nurtures, provides value, and builds rapport with your most aligned clients so you can effortlessly build your business while spending more time on the areas that truly light you up. This is a chance for one-on-one attention on your business to refine your strategy and put it into action while also benefiting from regular group mastermind experiences with like-minded women whose collective ideas, support, and accountability will really lift you to a new level in business and personally as well. So if you want to ensure you're using the right marketing strategies for your business, you're doing it consistently without overwhelm, and you're attracting the right people, your most aligned clients to nurture them and convert them, then I invite you to join me in the Online Marketing Mastermind 2018. Now, some people have missed out on previous intakes. If you're still undecided, I encourage you to at least have a chat. The current intake has achieved some incredible results, really supported each other, and I have to tell you, I find it really humbling to see how much they really care for each other's well-being. And we've celebrated some great moments during the experience. There's a great bond there now, as you can see from the comments on the screen, that I know will continue. So if you'd love that in your life and your business, I'd love you to join us. You can have an experience just like Kirsty's saying that she had here, and if I scroll down further, you'd see, and I did show you earlier, Lisa's comment as well. But you can go to bit.ly/O mastermind to get started. And obviously there is what you get: the 12 intimate mastermind experiences, 2 one-on-one strategy sessions, exclusive business mastery classes, invitations to get it done days where you can achieve big results, access to the client pathway library instantly, and access to my private software tools. And of course, as I said, that bonus for the moment to get your Ready, Set, Start session as well, the bonus session, done in December if you want to get it done now so that you can go into 2018 with far more ease. Now, we've had a few questions come through, so I'm just going to have a look at those. Let's see. So how will the mastermind calls take place? So I use exactly what we're using now, which is Zoom. So it's just like this. It's all private. You come in, you can see each other, and you can ask questions, and it's how you're able to build such a really beautiful bond with everyone as well. What else do we have here? Where are the other participants come from in the mastermind? So this year's intake, we're actually all from Australia, and I'm not saying that I won't take people from another country, but it is about also aligning people to the right time zone. So if there's 3 or 4 women from the US, then obviously that would be fine to group those together, or of course, depending on which area you're in the US, can actually be quite good as well, because you can attend the calls which happen here in Australia generally in the mornings, happen in the evenings for the US. But one of our current members, she is, one is in New South Wales, one is in Victoria, and one is in Queensland. So spread out everywhere, but doesn't seem to impact the bond at all. Lots of lovely comments. I'm glad to hear that some of the strategies really helped as well. That's good to hear. Perfect. If there's no other questions, then I want to say that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I really encourage you, if you are on the fence about whether or not it's the right fit for you, please go to that link, bit.ly/OM Mastermind, book your session, and we can just have a chat. There is no pressure at all, to see whether or not it does feel right for you to come across. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. Very good. And I'd love to chat to you, but I hope you gain some more inspiration for your business today, and seeing how you can systemize your business a little bit more. So thanks so much for joining me. If you're joining us in the mastermind in February, I look forward to working with you intimately on your soulful sales funnel. If not, good luck with these strategies and implementing them in your business. Thanks so much.